Now, typically your morning dose of Mr. Robson involves some hijinks, some hopeful hilarity, and the reception of a new daily challenge. Today's going to be slightly different. My deepest apologies, there won't be the same level of hilarity today, but I've been very, very busy prepping daily challenges, and I've been in school for the last couple of days, Thursday, Friday, yesterday, and now today, working with the key worker children. So producing something of quality for you was a little bit out of the question this morning. So instead I thought I'd do something different, something which, although it might not be as entertaining, I thought could at least be slightly interesting for you. And I thought I'd take you on a little bit of a tour of the school, what it's like at the moment, for those of you who aren't key worker children and haven't been in, as well as show you some behind the scenes footage of what goes on when Mr. Robson decides to pour his crazy ideas out into a camera screen. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is the hall. This is the place where all of our key worker children come in the morning. First place we come after we drop our bags off. And this is the setup for the hall. So we've got a nice table here where we come and we can chill out in the morning while we're waiting for everyone to arrive. You can do some mindfulness colouring. We have some construction things set up, some Lego, good book if you want to come and grab a book in the morning straight away. And then we have, this very curious setup. Now, so far we've been following Joe Wilkes' PE sessions, those live PE sessions on YouTube every morning. So we set ourselves up with a mat to keep ourselves a little bit distanced and to make sure we're exercising in a safe way. And we join in with him for half an hour from 9 until 9:30 every morning. And I've been getting involved in the PE with Joe Wicks in the morning, and it's made me feel very old and very out of shape, but everyone's really been enjoying it and trying to spot the differences that he does every day in the back of the room where he films it, and it's been really good fun. But yeah, this is where we start our day. Afterwards, we usually hop along. We're only using one classroom at the moment, so we're not in any of the main buildings. So we're not in Beach, we're not in Ash, we're not in Willow, we're not in Sycamore, we're not in the Orchard. We're only using U class at the moment, and we've moved things around a lot in U class to try and support social distancing. We've got frequent hand washing. We've got a lovely poster on the front, which is to remind us of the different rules about avoiding touching your face, keeping 2 meters apart if you can, and just making sure you're washing your hands regularly. And this was something that we made all together. Beautiful piece of work. Inside, as you can see, I know the chairs are up, but we have put the tables all into fours, and in fact we have it so that only 2 people work at a table, and they have to sort of be opposite each other. We've been working on lots of different things. We've been doing some artwork with complementary colours. This isn't just me, it's with the other teachers who've been in. We've done some Easter themed things, looking at numbers. I've done some sciencey bits and pieces. And we even made a little science table, a little scavenger hunt that we went on to find different things. Best of all, we have been... these are our pencil pots. So everyone gets their own pencil pot and pen. But best of all, we've been growing some beans and some tomatoes, and we started growing these before Easter, maybe 2 weeks before Easter, and they are really, really getting big. I've actually got to repot those into something bigger and give them a bit of bamboo or a bit of a stick so they can grow around it. Those are the beans anyway. The tomatoes are not quite so big. Fantastic, yeah, so we've all been working in here. Who's that handsome fellow? I wonder, who could he be? He definitely isn't me, because even though I drew it to be me, he looks absolutely nothing like me. So yeah, that's kind of a quick doobie-doo of what we're seeing every day. If we're in teaching, or if you're in as a key worker child, in these 2 rooms really. We're kind of in the hall, or out in the playground doing some PE, or we are in here doing lots of different types of work. Yeah. All right. And then this down here, this is where the magic happens. So this is my kind of studio. It's where I've done a lot of the videos that you've seen. Not all of them. Some of them obviously I've been filming outside. And I've rearranged the classroom to give me some space. And there are just bits and pieces from the videos all over the place. So even by the door here, we've got my Indiana Robson and Teacher with No Name hat. I never thought that hat would get so much use, and now it's used in almost every single video. It's my poncho, kindly donated by, or unwittingly donated by somebody who shall remain nameless. I've got my wig over here from my Bob Robson stunt. That is the squash that was used in the Teacher with No Name video. Orange, lemon and pineapple. I had to drink a lot of that. I had to do a lot of recording. Oh, those are the counters that went in the recipe from yesterday's video. Those hundreds counters, I've still got to clean those off. Yeah, and there's over here, we've got our skeleton, who was Dr. Boneson. Fun fact about that one, this is something Miss Priest pointed out to me. Recorded the whole thing and hadn't realised, and if you go back in the video you might see this, that I had recorded all of his scenes where his right leg is missing, so the leg facing not towards the camera but on the opposite side. I took off because I was trying to see if I could do something silly with it, like make it dance around, and I'd never actually put it back on, and I got through however many minutes of filming and hadn't realised, so I wondered if any of you guys spotted it either. Down here I've got the palette of Bob Robson, which was a brilliant idea at the time, and I thought was going to be, you know, fantastic. I took ages trying to cut it out and draw it out, blob the paint on, and as you can see, I clearly forgot the paint runs because it's not an oil paint or any kind of paint which was going to stay in one place. So I had these big blobs of paint on the palette as I was recording it, and at one point I looked down and I was just dripping black paint onto my shoes. And I had to just carry on. In fact, there was so much paint on there that this morning when I came in, this was the yellow, it's actually dried into flakes of paint. I've got a lot of costumes, a lot of clothes inside now. What was originally just changed some clothes as I came in has become a kind of wardrobe to choose from. So I've got things like ties, I've got my waistcoat, which I've used in a couple of things. And most of the stuff doesn't even appear on the screen. For example, I expect you never even saw the belt buckle that was worn by the bartender in A Teacher with No Name, or the shoes that I wore for the Gordon Robson yesterday, because you wouldn't have seen that part of me at all. But it's been great fun sort of dressing up. This was the top that was worn in the Fireside video. I don't think we ever gave that character a name. And it was the most fancy, isn't quite the word, is the most pompous shirt I could find. It's got these little buttons sewn in on it, and it's supposed to just make you look absolutely ridiculous. And you couldn't see it because I covered it in an even more ridiculous pink dressing gown, which was kindly donated by my mother unknowingly. This here is my camera, which I've been using for most of the filming, unless I've done it on the mobile. I think I only did a couple of bits on the mobile. It's a lovely Canon camera with a lovely little microphone on the top. And I bought this microphone especially because it's a bit better than the one that comes in the camera. And then I've got quite a good, I can do a, so I've got a live viewfinder here, and I can zoom out, zoom in. Of course, with the green screen, I have to make sure it's sort of zoomed in so that you don't see anything else around it for when I go and edit it later on. And I often do a lot of setup. try and make it look right. And then I occasionally will chuck on this little fluffy thing if I'm doing anything outdoors, because it helps just stop lots of the wind noise getting through. And then I've also got this separate mic, which is a USB microphone, which I use to do the recordings for the Boudica story. So I'll plug that in because it's got a slightly better pickup than my webcam. So yeah, there's not a lot else behind the scenes other than to mention, of course, the fantastic and fabulous, very well used and very much in need of an iron, green screen. Now that green screen is incredibly useful for when you want to do things like this. Go to places like this. Even do things like this. Yeah, the green screen's been really helpful in putting these videos together for you. Because it just allows me to be in places where I can't build around the school. The school's got brilliant resources. I wouldn't have been able to do most of the Bob Robson video without the paints and the palettes and the easels and things. But ultimately I can't make things like Lost Temples and Western Saloon bars at school. So yeah, it's been really helpful, and I hope, as terrible as some of it looks sometimes, it's been fun to explore at the same time. Now, it's important to remember that not everything is green screen effects, and sometimes you have to be very clever with the camera, deciding where to cut, where to edit in order to make an effect. If you are very clever and paying very close attention, you can even do things like this. And that's where we get our challenge from today. Now, eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed that the envelope that we use for the challenge, the daily challenge, isn't the same in every video. At the beginning I tried to make them as similar as possible to seem like it was the same envelope, but I wonder if anybody can re-watch the videos and actually tell me how many different envelopes I've used. This is a brand spanking new one. It's got a brand new design to it, and it might be the ongoing design for a while. We'll see how long this envelope lasts. But after being put in ovens and covered in cake mix, painted on, stuck to things, trampled on, the other one definitely came to the end of its life. Your challenge today. And in fact, it is written on every single time. This is the challenge. I scripted out because I can't really remember what they say every time. I don't have a really good memory. Anyway, today's English challenge is all about apostrophes. There are a number of different activities today which are focused on the two different uses of apostrophes. For contraction, which is joining words together, and for possession, to show that something belongs to someone or something. For those working on contractions, your first activity will involve joining words together and splitting them apart, placing and removing apostrophes. For those working on contractions, your first activity will involve joining words together and splitting them apart, placing and removing apostrophes. For those working on possessive apostrophes, your activities will involve first editing sentences to include a possessive apostrophe, and then moving on to looking at singular and plural possessive uses of the apostrophe, with some sorting of words and editing of sentences. Finally, there are two apostrophe games that you can play as an extra activity: apostrophe snakes and ladders, or plural or possessive card-based game. Don't forget to watch the companion YouTube videos for advice and guidance, and don't hesitate to get in touch if you need any help. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, I really hope you have found today's video interesting. I hope you've been enjoying the videos up till now. If you're interested in any of the bits and pieces that I've been doing and how I do them, or if you want to just ask me a question, always feel free to drop me a line and I'll do my very best to answer as soon as I can. It has been an absolute joy to hear from all of you, to hear that you've been enjoying the videos, to see the work that you've been getting into. Yeah, very, very, very happy feeling to know that you have been enjoying them. And I will continue to work extremely hard on making hopefully funny, but definitely more involved videos in the future. Thank you, keep safe, and warmest regards from me, and I know from everybody here at the Twyford team, and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.